Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian. Welcoming you to a new episode of Out of the Park Baseball 18. In this episode, we're going to be covering the second half of the season. Now, we went 44 and 44 in the first half, and we're actually in position to maybe make a playoff run. But we're going to have to mostly do it with the staff we have on file. And so I gave it a thought since the last one. We need to find a way to maximize Manessi's talents. Because the one thing he's very good at is getting on base. 350 is pretty impressive for this team. And we don't have a lot of elite contact players coming up either. Why did I ever consider moving Kevin Harris up a spot? He's a good hitter. Sorta. And he's actually gotten worse at third base. That's problematic. Last season he was a positive defender. This season he's not. And that's almost the entire explanation of the difference between the two teams. His extension's not very expensive, but still. This is not encouraging. And unfortunately, okay, I know where this is. Player development, personnel. I always have a hard time finding this. The prospect list. Not meet the team, although this does help. We have a very good catcher and a very good outfielder. Everything else is pretty bad. Really, really bad. Team chemistry, people are mostly content. Manessi's is a bit selfish. That's unfortunate. Where is that stupid graphical... Is the graphical depth chart what I wanted? I want the organizational chart. And I keep forgetting about this one, too. Once you have the depth chart put together, you can click on Lineups Overview, and you can make changes here, and it's so easy. It's really slick. How was Camarena done, by the way, as our designated DH? Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Where is... that bloody thing? Reports and info. Positional rankings? Is that what I wanted? Minor system report? Maybe. This is a useful one, too, that I haven't showed you before. This is a really useful one if you do all your own minor league stuff, because it'll tell you who they think might want to be promoted and who probably shouldn't be promoted. And it's sortable. We got a couple interesting players with decent... Ben Webb would be at least as good as Manessi's. It's something to think about. And there's your pictures. This is a really handy report too, but it's not the one I was looking for. I was looking for... player potential? No. Maybe it was positional rankings. So yeah, we're really bad at the corners. We've got some decent second base and shortstop prospects. We've got really good closer prospects, miraculously, because I think everyone's tied for last. Good reliever prospects. We're starting to slip in terms of starters. Just a little bit. Even with Castle, we're only 26th in first baseman. Yeah, we need help on the corners and up the middle. We'll have to see if future draft things do this here. The other one I like is the one you do with trades. It's a nice... we just pick somewhere... This different red light, green light, blue light system. Really handy. And this tells us right away that we're very thin on pitching prospects because I've shifted so much of our talent to acquiring relievers. Oh no. You're an awesome hitter, dude. I can't afford you. I can't even afford to look at your page. Right. You could be checking the waiver wire a little more frequently, especially for guys like this. He's a right-handed hitter. With very few holes in his game, except for the fact he's not a very good outfielder. But he's smart. A guy like this would not only make a good DH, but a good platoon player. Why is he even on the waiver wire? Oh, he's out of options. Who would I get rid of on the current roster if I claimed him? I mean, Camarena seems like the obvious choice. I really like his bat. I'm going to claim him and we'll see what happens. And we acquired him. What was your... Yeah, you're just a solid hitter. You're not brilliant at anything, but you're solid. Whereas Manessi's is only really good at gap power, hitting doubles and drawing walks. Who might be interested in you? I wonder. Because he's also going to get really expensive because of... what's the word? Arbitration. An interesting second baseman who's unfortunately worse than the one we've already got. Alfredo Villafan does nothing brilliantly but nothing badly. Keating's got elite stamina. And we're starting to really prize that. So Keating is a possible. What about Clayson? Clayson's control is not good enough. So Keating is a definite possibility. Oh, hello, Mike Carlin. Better than average stamina and possible elite level stuff. I'm gonna be hard pressed to do better than Carlin. Let's do it. It's not the most brilliant one-for-one trade I've ever made, but... Okay, you get promoted. Do I make you my starting right fielder? I think maybe I do. Just for now. not against... Let's look at the lineups overview. Batter ratings is actually the one I was already on. I mean, I guess he could maybe handle hitting third. Would be only under very limited circumstances. Karios is starting to lose his potential. That's unfortunate. How has Decoulé been? He's been pretty bad. I'm going to go ahead and demote him. If Casanova was actually right-handed... Oh my god, Casanova is right-handed. Shit. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and waive you entirely, just so I don't have to deal with your crap. Stars are righty too. Okay, I want all batters. Sort by contact. Here we go. Filter, I only want right-handed hitters. How much money do you want? I will give you a major league contract for the minimum. And you can just be a platoon guy for now. Let's play. We're going to play weak shorthanded. They traded a really good starter, admittedly a reliever, for two bad players. Okay, that's not as good as I thought it was. You have a very specific role to fill, my friend. You're going to be a backup first baseman. And you're actually going to start here. Well, I didn't check your ratings. You're about 50-50, but, you know, it's fine. You are a little bit better in this role. You can back up there. And I want Queen backing up a shortstop. Queen is such a useful player. I sometimes forget how good it could be to have just someone who can back up virtually anywhere. I didn't back you up, did I? Pineda. Gleyber Torres. I'm going to go ahead and shift you to first base. Just so I don't forget, and so teams don't bother me every 5 minutes with trade requests. It looks like protecting him from lefties has had a significant impact on how useful he is as a hitter. Which is good. That was, after all, the objective. Right. Poor Ernesto Plaza. I am really happy right now with acquiring Torres. He was exactly what we needed. I'm super pumped right now. With the offense, that is. So I don't have to rush Casanova. Porterfield is interesting that he's a good power hitter, but he can't really hit for contact. Something to consider down the road, maybe. I feel kind of bad for Shamar because I was going to call him up, and then it just hasn't happened yet. Because Olivas has been fairly effective. Which I didn't expect. Right, let us proceed. But Dave Dunn won that particular award, so that's kind of neat. We are losing all of a sudden, like, all the things. You can go to, like, AAA. Ooh, that's bad. We've gone into quite a tailspin. This is actually kind of bad. Let's look at the team home screen. I should have the hot or not screen here, don't I? Oh, it might be under my manager's office screen. Yep, here we go. Nobody's hot. I think we stopped hitting again. Which is most unfortunate. Yeah, by war, we don't have, like, a superstar. We have a 3-time All-Star, though. So that's something. A trade proposal, you say? For Muchler, you'll give me Tyshawn Vanderpool. Who's not... He's basically Manessi's again. But as a first baseman. And an uninteresting second baseman. I'm going to officially put Muchler on the block just because he's so obviously not going to be a starter that if I can get a big package for him, I will trade him. 6 days for Fitch. I'm just going to go ahead and reject this trade. Actually, I guess I could discuss it. No, I don't want him untouchable. I want him on the block. Yeah, I don't want Vanderpool or Espinosa. I want at least one top prospect if I'm parting with Muchler. Not Terry. Terrones could be interesting. And I'd have to give you an exceptional player to get you to change your mind. You're a third baseman. There we go. And you're a 20-year-old. Yeah. I'm taking over your development. You are now one of my top priorities. And you are on a one-way ticket to single A for the rest of the season. You're a 32nd round draft pick. If you make the majors, it would be amazing. So yeah, let's just continue for now. And then if we get more offers for what's his face? Why would I give you Randy Fitch? He's having a bad season. He actually is untouchable. Because he's so cheap. I'll just keep Muchler on the trading block and see what kind of offers I get. Yeah, OOTP, you don't see trades like you do in the majors, which is one established veteran for quite a few rookies. It's usually the opposite. Any interesting changes here? His power's gotten better. That's unexpected. Welch put on a little bit of weight, and all of a sudden he's a legit prospect. See what difference a couple miles an hour can make? Casanova must not have developed in a major way. Warren's now up to a 69 because he's actually at a position he can play. Singler put on a little bit of speed, but I don't even know who this guy is. Right. Right. What did Casanova do during this development period? He's just gotten a bit slower and a bit worse at first base. This is not encouraging. Not encouraging at all. We played a tough division. I mean, Miami's been running away with it now for a while. Chris Kassan wants to be traded. You do not deserve to be at the top of the lineup when you hit 237 and have an on-base percentage of 294. I don't care how fast you are, and I don't care how angry you are. You can kiss my butt. Because I am not moving you one way or the other. I'm not going to trade you, and I'm not going to change your position in the lineup. I'll tell you what. I'll put your butt on the trade block, and if I get interested offers, maybe I'll trade you. Stupid Phillies. How did they get him? A second-round draft pick. There's got to be something I'm not understanding about the draft in OOTP 18, because I've just had a nightmare scenario. Maybe it's just because my guy is so toolsy. Oh, god damn it, Fitch. Oh, he just blew out his arm. Yep, it's your time to shine, Mr. Polite. You will be the number 2 starter for the rest of the season. He's actually done relatively well since he's gone down to the bullpen. Maybe I should just keep him there until I have a reason not to. 1 week. I'm not going to put you on the DL for 1 week. You can just ride the pine. But since the DL is 12 days, I'd lose him for 5 days more. I mean, we've failed almost every single time we've drafted to get the elite prospects. We've picked in the top 10 now for like the past 4 years in a row. Now, part of this, okay, Major League Baseball is a crapshoot. An enormous crapshoot. And that's something that's really important to consider. In the NFL and the NHL, people drafted in the first couple rounds typically tend to start. And that doesn't happen in baseball. Well, for hockey, maybe just really the first round. It's rare that a second rounder would be signed right away. Ooh. Hello, Ishmael Pardo. I have no clue why you're so highly rated, but sure. He's free, and that counts for a lot. Yeah, it's not very clear to me what we can do to push this team to the next level. Because we're just not having luck in the draft. Oh, the other Braves. I mean, you see a team like the Phillies, and they're drafting these. They get this a player of his caliber in the second bloody round. If we look at our draft history, it's been kind of bad. Part of this is not our fault. So what? My first season was 2030. Yeah, Thexton isn't going to make it. I mean, these mega players that people are drafting, I don't know how they're getting them. The thing I think is I don't use scouting reports and OOTP. And I'd be curious to see what people have to say as far as that's concerned with their teams. If they found scouting reports to be useful in game. And I'm spending a lot of money on scouting the amateur scouting line. And it's not really turning into top-notch players. Do I want to call anyone up? Not really. Mosley can come back, sure. Could always use another middle reliever. Maybe we'll try that in a couple seasons, is just when we get the draft pool, just start saying, let's start scouting people and seeing what kind of results we get. I don't care about Gerardo. I don't care about him even a little bit. Wow, the Diamondbacks are bad. Seriously, you don't get freaking elbow inflammation. God. Hey, look, I've waited all year to get a chance to play, and hey, look, now I'm hurt. Brain could be a really good pick. I want him to have a full season in AAA, so we'll actually go ahead and promote Newman. And you can start for a couple weeks, I guess. Not that it matters because the season's almost over with. I mean, even the hot streak to end all hot streaks would make a big difference for us. I don't think. It's just not been a good season. Because we don't... Dude, You're not part of the starting lineup. I never made that part of our agreement. You're a platoon player to fill in until Casanova's ready to play. And we're officially eliminated from the playoffs. I had a lot of hope for this season. We were doing really well at the All-Star break, and then we've just kind of fallen apart. It's so frustrating. We just cannot hit to save our lives. We don't get on base. And because we don't get on base, a lot of these homers are solo homers. And the thing is, I don't know how we address that without signing a big free agent. I don't even know. Yeah, we'll just play to the end of the regular season. Oh, hooray, you can come back. I don't care, though. 73 and 86. We're not getting that extra piece. And I think we're pretty close. The problem is we had a contact here who got on base a lot. And that person's name was Kevin Maytan. And then he all of a sudden decided that hitting was optional. And Casanova's not really improving. Dave Warren has all of a sudden become like a mega prospect. And he's a 32nd round draft pick. That is just mind-boggling. Yeah, you're going to spend all of next year in single A, and we'll see how you turn out. Jake Campbell is good, but he ain't that good. Dan Clark's actually, pretty decisively crap. Let's take a look at... Let's actually just finish today, so it'll officially realize we're in the off season. Alright, so let's quickly review the minors. Casanova hit 217 in AAA. This is a significant setback. You're going to have to repeat AAA. I know you're actually kind of young for AAA, but this is frustrating. How can you say performance is great, dude? You hit 217. Scouting report. OSA thinks he actually could be even better. We think of him as a little more polished, though. Our first party in the offseason has to be replacing our scouts. Right. Who else is... We've got nothing in AA. How did Singer do his first full season in single A? He played below average center field, but he's still learning the position, and he didn't hit that well. I think it's worth having him repeat in single A. And if he has a good first half, we'll bump him up to high A. Resendiz He drew walks, which I didn't expect, but he didn't hit for power, which I did. So again, you can spend... You're only 19. I don't have any problems with playing you kind of slowly. Okay. Let's look at how the team did. Pat Morris has turned into quite a little ball player for us. How did he play at second this season? Again, a little bit above average, but he hit amazingly. 321 is exactly what this team needs at the top of the lineup. And even if his base ceiling isn't the best, I don't care. He doesn't strike out, and he hits for contact, and this is something we desperately need. Morris, very pleased with. Kassan had an amazing year in center field. An amazing year in center field. But he didn't hit very well. Karios basically gave me 2031 again. A few less dingers, but he did play in fewer games. I'm happy with this. This is what I wanted from him. I would love it for him to hit more home runs. But 250, 315, 525 is 22% better than the average major leaguer. And he plays left field pretty damn well. Totally cool with Karios. Favela gets walks and he plays catcher pretty damn well. Which we haven't had in a long time. I'm fine with that as well. Harris had something of a subpar year. It happens. Wardell performed quite well. Quite well indeed. I'd like to see the power go up, and I'd especially like to see the contact go up. How did you handle short? Pretty well. The arrows will come down. You're on my radar, and you've earned yourself the sharding. The sharding. Oh dear, very different type of thing. We've got a very nice year out of Pineda, just by limiting his at bats and putting him where he can do the most good. Juan Romero actually, he turned in about the same season. We just don't have enough people that get on base. We don't. And that's got to be our priority in the offseason. You turned into a nice 1 year kind of, what's your face? Designated hitter type. For me, you had some problems. And the question is whether this is a one-time thing or what. We'll have to see. Was anyone a millstone? Alfaro is a backup catcher. I don't care. Queen played so many games in so many different places that even though he didn't hit, I don't care. Because he played very well defensively at second base when we needed him. He's a useful player. And he even gave us a handful of home runs. He is not here to win batting titles. He is here to play lots of different positions very well. Which he does. In fact, can I get you to give me a 4-year deal? There you go. Let's give you a new contract. So I don't have to worry about you. You didn't play much, and when you did play, you weren't that effective. You did draw walks, but you didn't hit for a high average. And you're also being extremely grumpy. I mean, dude, it's been 2 years since you had a regular major league job. So go take a long walk off a short pier. We'll go ahead and finish the playoffs, and then we... Oh, I didn't look at my pictures, did I? Let's do a quick pitcher review. Pitcher stats. Audain, at the age of 32, had his best season ever. Totally caught us off guard. As much as I hate to say it, Danny Muchler is never going to give us 200 innings a season. But the innings he's giving us are really, really good. This is his second year that he's actually gotten better as a pitcher. Olivas filled in very well. 2.1 WAR and only 23 starts. Duff was okay. DeVille turned out fine. Gunnar was a very strong closer. And then some pitchers are actually bad, like Mike Mosley. Gerardo, I'm going to put you on the trade block too. Someone might offer me something interesting. Now, if we look at team history, how did we do last season? We turned in the exact same record 2 years in a row. When did I get hired? 2030, right? We've actually gotten a little bit worse, but we've gotten a little better each season offensively. You know who we need? We need Yoan Moncada, or his, as the Simpsons say, non-union Mexican equivalent. We need someone who gets on base and hits for average. Besides Morris. Because you got a lot of power hitters, and we don't have a lot of hitters who do anything with that power. Kansas City won the World Series, I think. That's just weird. That is unexpected. Yep, there we go. Kansas City Royals. An average score. No, we get all the interesting players on the waiver wire. Any of them actually interesting? Not really. Right. Okay, everyone, I hope you have enjoyed the episode. We're going to call it here as we finish the season. Next episode, we'll cover the off season. We need to find something extra to get us over the hump. And I don't know where that's going to come from. We need that one extra hitter that makes everyone around him better. Because we almost made the playoffs, and we had a very good first half. We just didn't last. I don't know where our person's go for. Maybe it'll be Casanova. Maybe Reggie. We'll replace Romero in the lineup, and he'll just destroy all the pitches, and we'll do a happy dance. Our pitching staff is still probably better than the offense. And this is going to be coming up our last season as general manager of the Braves, so we'll have to see what they do if we get a new contract or if we get fired. But until next time, this has been Avendian. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment down below if you're so inclined. Let me know what your draft strategies have been. I'll be curious just to see people just kind of sound off and say, this is how I draft my team. And maybe it'll spark something, and I'll think about it later on. But until that time, this has been Avendian, bidding you good day.